Hello, it's me. I'm Eddie, aka Dim Witness. I've got a song. I just decided to go ahead and work on a song today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to document a little bit of this by first I'll play the song and I'm going to figure out how it goes. I already know how it goes, but I want to know exactly how it goes and re-record it in Logic Express. It's a song that I wrote on vacation, I don't know, a year ago or two, and I've already I tried to redo it back in February for the RPM challenge or whatever it was called, where you're trying to record an album in 1 month. In February 2011 I did that, and all I got was a rough draft, and I took a segment of that and turned it in. I'm going to use the Alesis Ion. I've already decided for the Vox sound, MIDI'd into Logic, and I got a great Vox Continental sound from Michael 2 pointed out to a link to get that. And I don't have my Continental here. I still have a Continental, but it's pretty messed up. It's out in the garage, and so I'm not going to be using that. I'm going to use this Alesis Ion, I believe. I might actually MIDI out of the Roland, because it has more keys, and I'm looking into that. And this is real easy to hook up to the MIDI and play the virtual instrument, the software instrument, which I like to shy away from. I'd rather use the hardware, but under circumstances where I'm at here. So if I'm going to use hardware, I will try to use at least the realistic Moog, but I'm going to use the JP2 because it's got a great Moog sound that I used in February when I did the first remake. But what I'm going to do is now, and you'll be able to hear it because I've got the speakers up here, is go ahead and play the song, the original version that I wrote on the acoustic guitar and played up in Tehachapi. So let's see if I can find it here, and here it is, and it's on the vacation tape, and actually it's showing it. Looks like I transferred it, and oh, okay, wow. 999. Oh, okay, 999 was when I first came up with the concept for it, and there's a 20-second snippet. I used like the digital recorder in the iPhone.
It's time for some soft, clean ego time. It's time for some soft, clean ego time.
Okay. So that from 9909 got turned into this. It looks like oh, I transferred this in January of this year, but I think 09 was when I actually did this. It must have been December 09, because I didn't go to Tehachapi in December 010. So this is the original version. This was done with the Yamaha PSR $100 keyboard, using the built-in drums. What I might do is open up Logic and actually transfer this into Logic just for a reference track, and of course then mute it later. So go ahead and save that. We'll create an empty project in Logic. Whatever that is there. Okay, now I'll go ahead and transfer this in if I can. Just drag it straight. I don't know if I can drag it straight from iTunes into Logic or not. Let me try it. Yeah, that worked. It's actually an A file. The quality is very poor because I recorded it on a I use a little cassette recorder for this. I'm using iPhone now for digital recording, but at this point I was still using a little cassette, little portable recorder, like one of those dictation type things that you see. It's like a Sony Walkman, only it has a record feature. And I actually like the sound. It's real lo-fi. song is there. There's no real lyrics, only the chorus is written at this time. But I've been thinking of lyrics in my head as I listen to it. So. Okay, so I have that in Logic now. I'm listening to it. I'm trying to pick it up here. Wow, I don't have the soft, clean, long version anymore. It must have been 10 minutes long. I do have the short version though, and it has, when I hear the synthesizer in the version that I put in on the RPM challenge, this part here, it sounds really good to me, and that's the Roland JP. It's the Roland Moog sound. It's not my actual Moog. But I wasn't, I hadn't really broken the mold. I'd gotten the Moog out, but I wasn't playing it very much. I was actually ashamed of my realistic Moog for decades. And of course I love it now. As of like May of this year, I just fell in love with this instrument again. It needs some work. And I would cheat and use the digital, you know, they call it an analog, but it is. It's a digital synthesizer. It reproduces analog sounds, but after playing the Moog this spring, there's just you cannot duplicate an analog synthesizer sound. This sounds pretty good. Drinking a Monster with Gatorade, I've cut back on my caffeine intake by half. Well, I'm down to 300 milligrams a day, maybe, instead of 500 or 600. Nothing like a self-provoked manic episode due to over-ingestion of caffeine and nicotine. In the near future, anything that ends in I-N-E, I'm no longer going to ingest. Deliberately, unless it's in a food already. Yeah, they take this caffeine, they get it out of coffee. When they make decaf coffee, they take the caffeine out of the coffee and put it in soft drinks. It doesn't really need to be there, but it keeps us hooked, doesn't it? Keeps me hooked. Anything that ends in I-N-E, I'm hooked on immediately. Or O-N-E. Anyway, so now you get an idea. I'm getting an idea in my head of what this is supposed to sound like. Let's get some visuals here. Nothing like some pure synthesized bliss. You can see why I want to redo the song. Excuse me. It's a good song. Excuse me. It's very similar to another song I wrote. Like particle dots I tend to borrow heavily from myself. Every song is an aptitude test of where I'm at right now musically. That's songwriting, technical proficiency, which hasn't changed. It's in fact probably gotten worse over the decades. But it's an indicator of where I'm at, my aptitude, where I'm at today. I found that I can't really do better than me. I am me, and I do what I do, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and re-record Soft Clean Ego right now, and just documenting the initial refamiliarization orientation experience here, as in to show a little bit about what happens. I do have the actual original Vacation track that I recorded on the guitar. I've got that in Logic Express now for a reference, so I'm gonna look at that. Who knows how long it is? Probably way too long. It's okay. I know nobody's interested in listening to Dim Witness for more than 4 minutes, and probably no more than 3. So I'm going to shorten it up, tighten it up, do some experimenting with some sounds with the Vox, pipe through the MIDI with the Ion or the Roland. It's a Roland sound, and I'm going to try to incorporate some genuine Moog sounds. And then I'm going to write some verses and try to sing it even though I got a cold. So it may be recorded with the cold. That's all right.